What's good, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. I finally decided that I wanted to just put myself out there, put my content out there, because I've been kind of talking myself out of it for the longest time, and I think why? Everyone on YouTube can contribute something. It's a platform that's like a community, and I want to kind of start my community, start up a kind of family feel, calm, spiritual vibes on this channel where we just get real, have a little talk about life's issues, my perspective on it, and I'm hoping that this will be my first video of many, to be honest. So to get into it, I'm going straight in, I'm getting real. I wanted to talk about what is your life's purpose? For me personally, this has been a reoccurring thought for months and months and months and months. And I think, I've been processing, digesting, and having to come to terms with a lot of what my life's purpose is. And I feel like in today's society, younger generation, like it's so difficult to kind of grasp what your path in life is. Like, what is that? And I'm here to tell you, it's okay if you don't know. I feel like it's okay if, you don't know where you want to be career-wise. It's okay if you feel like you're a bit lost at the moment, because at the end of the day, one, we're so young to kind of have it figured out, but it's implemented into us from such a young age through institutions such as school. And then when you go into work, the mentality is kind of like, you must know your path from the ages of maybe 16. I think even now they push it at around 14. By the time you're doing your GCSEs, the way they structure it is that, you do this leading up to what you want to do in the future. And it works for some people. Honestly, I know friends that they've known what they've wanted to do from a young age, and they're doing it now and they love it. And that's great. I completely respect that, and, proud of their work ethic. But I was in a position where I thought I knew what I wanted to do, and I was kind of making the moves to get to that position. And then just through like circumstances, life, I don't want to do those things anymore. So the past couple of months, I felt kind of lost. And when you feel lost, it can feel like a very lonely place. You feel like there's no one out there that can comprehend how you feel. But there's more of us out there than you think. It's a difficult space to be in. Like, every day you have to wake up, you have to motivate yourself, you have to believe that you will get there eventually. And you always hear trust the process, but what is trust in the process? Trust in the process is hard, because you have to have more belief in what is coming for you than your fears. And that's very challenging, because your fears are more prominent. You live with them every day. You live with your thoughts every day. And if you're in a position where you don't know what you want to do, and that's reoccurring, I think sometimes people think, how can I possibly think that, oh, it will come eventually? I was doing a job. I was working through the whole pandemic, and eventually, like, it just got way too much for me, and I ended up leaving. And for the first time in my life, I had to really overcome a lot of anxieties that I had just from making that decision. I had to deal with financial anxiety. What am I going to do in the midst of the pandemic? It's been a process. I've really had a lot of time to myself to kind of think, like, what am I doing? And I still don't know. And when people ask me, I'm like, I'm figuring it out. I'm in that stage of life where I honestly don't really know what I'm doing. And that's fine. I'm completely okay with that. But coming to terms with being okay with not knowing your path is challenging. And I encourage you as a viewer to really just accept the process as it comes. I'm a visual person. I feel like I know where I want to be in life, and I do think I will get there, because I've got drive, determination, I've got work ethic, all of that. But sometimes when you feel so distant to that image, yeah, some days you do think like, this is too much. And sometimes I wake up and I'm like, wow, I've got all the motivation in the world to actually reach where I want to go. And sometimes I wake up and I'm like, Lord Jesus, take the wheel, because I can't do it. And that's completely fine. This is a process. And I think this is why maybe people say that your 20s are that kind of defining year. I'm 23, I've just turned 23, and I think I'm definitely starting to kind of grasp that concept and understand it more. That it is a period of self-exploration, figuring out what works for you, figuring out what doesn't work for you, not being afraid to take risks as well. Just going into uncomfortable situations. Like, I really want to just channel my energy and what I've learned through this past couple of months and just deliver it to, you guys. Finding your path. It's difficult, man. I really sympathize for people that are out there that feel alone, because I think there's no worse feeling than thinking that you're the only person going through this phase in life, or no one can get you. And I think that's what motivated me to kind of start this channel. We all go through life experiences and we all have our take on them. We all have a message to deliver. And I think if I can create content that makes even one person feel less alone and like, wow, this is how I'm feeling, thank you for kind of changing how I view my situation, or just having someone to be real with you. I think we all speak language, English. We all put up a facade of like, yeah, everything's going well, I love my job, wow. But the reality is, like, I don't even think just work. I think just in general, like, there's so much face that we're putting on our situations, and that's fine. Like, being strong is not an issue. If you want to present yourself as strong to the world, by all means, because there are some people that you're strong to the world, but when you're with them, you are vulnerable. But I think that normalizing things in life that are like, I don't really get what's going on right now. I'm not sure what's going on with me as a person. I don't know what's going on in my life. I think that needs to be a topic that we have more often. I try to engage in content or make my content similar to what I engage in. I think that's what I was trying to say. And I know how much it helped me to, when I was like, going through my head and I was stressed, I was like, hearing this person speak is calming me down. It's making me feel like this is normal in a way, I think we also have to remember, like, we have all experienced a global pandemic right now. So many people lost their job, became redundant. That's the same thing, isn't it? So many people like worked during the pandemic and it was too much for them, and they, for the sake of their mental health, which I'll touch on in a different video, they had to leave and they had to choose themselves over the job. In a time where there's uncertainty, finding your path adds extra uncertainty, if that makes sense, because that's one issue in its own. And now we've got this influencing factor where the world is uncertain. Do you know what I mean? Like, I live in the UK, so we're not like back to normal, but this is the most normal that it's felt for a very long time. And that's nice, because it's weird how quickly we can adapt and just move on with situations. But there's still such a big degree of uncertainty. Like, the job market right now is crazy. Coming from someone who's been, actively trying to look for a job, not even knowing what job they want to go in, but just trying to try different fields, apply, figure that side out, and to have like constant rejections, unfortunately, is like that also influences, what do you want to do? How am I feeling about myself? So I feel like I'm here today to say several things. It's okay to not know your path. It's okay to not have it figured out. And it's just okay to not be okay. Like, we can all not be okay together, hun. But let's talk about it. Let's get real with it. Let's have discussions with our friends, with our loved ones, and say like, I feel lost. I don't know what I'm doing. Because I saw a really amazing channel. I think it's In Hindsight. Really check him out on YouTube. He is an amazing YouTuber, an amazing speaker, and he had done a video about when you feel lost. And a great point he made is that when you're lost, something is normally trying to find its way to you. And that's what I believe. I feel like although I'm in a stage of not knowing what I'm doing, what's meant for me, what's my path in life, I know that it's going to come. And I have a strong belief that I know. And I have a strong belief that everything that I've gone through leading up to this moment is going to make that opportunity greater for me, because it's made me greater as a person. It's made me have time to myself to understand who I am. And it's so difficult sometimes to know who you are when, I was going to say, when there's a lot of noise in the world and then there's a lot of noise on the road apparently. But yeah, it's really hard to know like who you are when the noise of the world is blocking that out. So sometimes you do need to, I don't want to say isolate myself and get it taken out the wrong context, but sometimes you need to isolate yourself from situations that are making you unhappy, people that are making you unhappy, and just figure out what is it that I'm meant to do for me? What is it that's going to make me happy? What is it that's going to encourage me to wake up in the morning and be better than I was yesterday? And I feel like that's why finding yourself is such a beautiful experience. As much as it's painful, stressful, causes anxiety, like might affect your mental health, might impact your relationships with others, all of those things, I think it's such a important process, because I know for a fact that I will not forget this stage of my life when I'm older, you know? And I know like I will look back on it and say to myself, I learned so much from this experience. So if there's anyone out there watching this video, I want you to like just consider all of those things. Consider that you're really not alone. This is a channel now that I'm hoping that you can, you know, join. I feel like, yeah, this is like my tribe, you know. This is where I feel safe, feel calm, feel zen, and just someone to like be a voice of reason, to make a joke of life. Because sometimes you have to laugh harder at life, you know. Sometimes you have to be the crackhead energy when life tries to throw some shit at you, because life is mad, but I'm madder. So what's good, life? Let's go today, you know. That's it for today's video. I want to keep it nice, short and sweet. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment in the comments box. I want to know about your experiences. Like, what are you going through? Can you relate? Because relatable. And join me on my next video. Thank you for clicking on my channel. Thank you for, if you made it this far to the video, thank you for engaging in my content.